All right, we are live. Greetings, fellow traders. Let me get this tweeted out so everybody can join in here. 1 second. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good. Good, good, good. Well, I hope everybody is doing well and had a great trading day today. Today, we are going to be continuing our conversation on day trading channel types, and today we're going to be going over the price channel. So this week we've been talking about indicators, right? Different tools that are available in the Thinkorswim platform, but also probably available in TradingView, different ones right there. But this is a cool one. It's called the price channel. So we're going to be talking about that one today. Before we get started, everything we're going to talk about, of course, is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good. And we're going to check and see where we were in the market. Then we'll go over the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started here. So here we are with the SPX today. So we've got the monthly chart pulled up here. I'll just make sure everything's coming through okay. Good. Good, good, good. Double check sound. Good. Okay, good. All right, yeah, so here we are. SPX. Good stuff here. All right, so double inside month so far. So we're getting tight, right? If anybody's been feeling like it's been a really choppy week, that's because it is. We're range bound right now, right? We're range bound on the monthly chart and also on the daily chart, which we'll take a look at in a little bit here, and then we'll see where we're at on the weekly here in a second. But mid Bollinger Band here in the monthly, so we closed above it last month in April. May here, we're kind of struggling with it a little bit. We rejected it again today and bringing that monthly chart red again. And upper shadow on the weekly chart. Okay, still below that 30 weekly moving average. Okay, so composure is still possibly bearish, right? So, still kind of bearish here. So we'll see how that goes. We actually had a down day in the market today, down 20 points. Upper shadow right here, which filled the open gap on the weekly. Don't worry, one day we'll get to that weekly gap up here, right? So that'll be there one day, so we'll just have to see when. But in the meantime, we'll continue to track these weekly candles until we get there. Okay, so upper shadow last week, a shooting star type candle after this gap fill off of and testing the prior inside week. And we're still above it. We're still above the range. We gapped below it this week, and we're kind of up above it right now. So let's see if we can continue to hold there. Or if we break down, watch out below, because if we close red this week, we may want to test the bottom of that inside candle there on the weekly chart. Daily, chop fest. Okay, so it's good. I mean, this is constructive in a way, in a lot of ways. We may chop for a while, right? It's possible, but with the volatility as high it is, it probably is not going to be that long. So we broke out of the downward trend line right here. We worked our way up. We got back to the 50 moving average, rejected that 50 moving average, back down here, right to the trend line, to the 21 moving average, 80 MA, and then we finally got out of the cloud, right? We pushed out of the cloud, got a fresh high, fresh trend line, and broke down below the trend line again. And so now we've got this this trend box right here. So let's get this activated here. I was just showing the congestion zone right here, but technically this is the trend box, right? So there we are. So there's your high, there's your low, and we're contained within this range right now. So really kind of the key things are we going to break down below this level right here and try to work our way downward? But it's tough, right? It's tricky. There's a lot of levels right here that are important. The 21 EMA, right? That's right at the trend box low. The cloud, horizontal level right here, potential support. 50 moving average could be a potential support level too. Below there, then we got the bottom of the cloud, and then below there we've got open gap on the daily, open gap on the daily as well. So we'll see. We'll see what they have in store here. But in the meantime, we're in the chop zone, and you could definitely feel it today, right? So let's take a look here at the intraday price action. It was super choppy today. I mean, yesterday was choppy, but it was more of like a slow grind up type choppiness until they decided to rug pull it at the end of the day. We had kind of a similar type move, right? So it's almost an ascending triangle type look to it as well. But that was the Fed's Clarita started talking, was getting kind of negative on the economy, brought it down today. We gapped up. The futures were pretty strong overnight, and then we faded that gap pretty quickly, right? So the closing gap, that is, right? So we gapped up a little bit and faded that closing gap pretty quickly here off of a shooting star at the open, pushed down below the 15 orb low, and kind of gave a pretty decent move right there. We still have this closing gap down here too, which is a possible area to be tested as well. So that being said, super duper choppiness, right? And it was tough, right? Because we had I don't really particularly like tight triangles like this. I like them to be a little bit longer, pulled out. This is, a 15-minute time frame. So here it gave a lot of fake moves today, little false breakout type moves. Right here, false breakout of the tight triangle. Here, false breakout of the tight triangle. So usually we kind of our hands off of those type of really tight moves. So then the triangle just expanded itself today, right? So we kind of went like this, right? You had the triangle moved here, right? And we're drawing trend line, triangle moved here a little bit. So it started to get a little more interesting, right? And then we had a decent move right here, decent little breakout candle right here, but it was still kind of tight. And it got to the 15-order high, got an upper shadow off of that. We came back down again. It looked like the momentum was really starting to come down a little bit. And we got to the bottom of this triangle right here. Did we break out of it? No, not yet. It wasn't ready yet. Okay, but the one thing it did do is, and this is what we do all day, watch this stuff, okay? So until the setup occurs, right? And so here we had the upper triangle. So at this point now, we got to ask ourselves, okay, with the volatility, are we just going to chop for the entire day, or are they going to make a move? Well, hopefully they make a move so we can make a little bit today, right? And so here you can see at the end of the day, they finally did it, right? It was, and a couple of our tools or momentum indicators were like, okay, this thing's ready to go, right? It held also an inside 15 here. We held that ADMA. We got really tight right here, and then we broke down right there. And if you go to the lower term time frames, you'll see there was actually a couple entries that were possible right there. Very, very fast move at the end of the day for a quick drop, right, from 28.63 all the way down to 28.48, right? So almost, about a almost 15-point move, 20-point move. That was the move of the day right there at the end of the day. The same thing, right? End of the day move, end of the day move, that type of stuff. So you just got to be patient with these things, especially in the chop area. And it's possible that nothing's set up today. It's possible. But at the end of the day, expiration day especially, right? They like to do their shenanigans, and we got a little move at the end of the day. Anyway, interesting stuff there. That was today's price action. These are the levels that we provide to our members before each market open. So you can see here today that we kind of chopped around, right? We held yesterday's levels pretty well. That was kind of a nice midpoint level today. We had our 15 orbs here. The R1 level got rejected early. Tweezer tops right here on the 5-minute chart came back down. Had a nice reversal candle right here off of the R1 level on the weekly. That put us back up here, tested a bunch of levels, right? So you can see here how these held pretty nicely all day. So cool stuff, right? That was today's action. So today we are going, before we go back into today's stuff, let's take a look at the futures and see how we're doing here this evening. 1 second. All right, so interesting stuff here this evening, right? So here we go. We have the S&P futures up. We opened up. Okay, so we opened up here a little bit choppy at the open. They gapped it down, and then they pushed it up a little bit. We couldn't really get a breakout out of these levels right here. So what that did is form a potential area of resistance, right? And then that 1 orb low, we broke that here, or the 5 orb low, or however you want to look at it right there. We broke that down for a nice quick momentum move to the downside. Okay, and then we chopped around on there. It was just kind of doing some price discovery in this area. And then we started to work our way back up, right? We got a nice inside 15 right here. So that caused a bit of a geometric breakout right here. We got back to this level. Once we broke out of this level, retest, move, retest, move. And so right now we're holding this as potential support right now going into the rest of the evening. So we got a couple levels right here. You can see the top of these levels right here, resistance. Okay, and then if we get above that, we've got these guys right here. Okay, so we just see how those hold throughout the night. Now, if we break down below here, we may start to see more of an aggressive move to the downside. We might see the bears start to really try to pick up tonight. So to try to continue that momentum from the downside from during the open market period, right? So we're up 7 3/4 right now. So we'll see how we hold throughout the night. Okay, good. So those are the futures here tonight. And today we're going to continue our conversation on day trading channel types. And tonight we're going to be talking about the price channel. So this is a cool one. So I'm gonna pull it up right here on the S&P chart so we can look at it and see how it behaves live here. So basically what I like to do, there's a study in Thinkorswim. It's just called Price Channel. Okay, you can do just a search on channel. It's the one that's called Price Channel. Price Channel is really cool. Okay, so it's a study that consists of 2 lines, the upper band and the lower band, that are drawn respectively through the highest highs in the fixed period and the lowest lows of the same period. So it defaults to 20. Okay, so what it's going to do is it's going to take the highest high of the last 20 period, the last 25-minute candles, and the lowest low. So let's put that on there. Ba-bum. All right, so now we have the price channel, and this is a really cool tool. So what it does basically is we find the highest high of the last 20 candles. So you just go back and you find your highest high. So at one point it was this candle, right? And you go 20 candles forward. You can actually there's a little tool here. You just click on this. You can go 20 bars forward, which puts us right there. Okay, to this area right here, and then you kind of shift that over, right? So that's 20 candles in length, 20 bars in length right there. So I'll just kind of show you this, activate this, and you can kind of see, right? So this was your highest high for a while up here. So that was the highest high. You can see it at the top of the channel. This is your lowest low for a while, right? And so that stayed the lowest in the channel until we got a new low after 20 candles, right? So it started to shift here as this started to move forward, right? So it kind of moved 20, here we started to shift down, and then boom, in this intraday, in this intra move, we had a fresh low, and now this is your new low right here. It's trying to find a new low, but that low just kept on shifting, 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 right? And then now here's your new low. So it's really cool. This gives you a great area, and this is good on the daily chart too, because a lot of swing traders like to use your recent 20-day highs and your recent 20 days lows. So it is a popular study, or at least a popular concept, and they've just turned it into a study. And you can see how well those held, right? And normally we just look at these as kind of, hey, this is potential support, but this draws it essentially automatically for you. So it's like, okay, the last 20 candles, this was the lowest low. Let's see if we can do that. But if we break down below that low, right, we look to short, right? And that's exactly what we did this evening in the group, right? So we looked here, and once we broke down that level, and then boom, we had a nice move to the downside, okay? So now, this is essentially what we're saying. Maybe we'll come back, we'll test these lows, but in the meantime, we're moving, right? So these channels are moving up right now, and so we're basically looking at it as a bullish move, as you can see. So we're going to look for potential resistance levels right here. You can see I already drew this level here, and it just happens to correspond with this one, and now automatically the channel is drawing up here as a potential resistance level because it was the highest high within the last 20 bars. So as it's moving up right now, it's trying to establish a low and follow its way up right here. So once it bases a little bit, this will probably become the channel low shortly after that, right? So we'll just kind of see where that goes, over the next 20 candles or so, and see if it kind of levels out in here, and then it'll just give us a sideways move. And you can see today, right, intraday, we were pretty choppy. Okay, so let me clear all my trend lines off here for you. Okay, so without all those trend lines on here, you can see very clearly that today was a choppy day. So this is a good tool to have as well. If you're not, used to drawing triangles and stuff intraday, you could put these channels up here, and you can kind of see how choppy we are, right? So as you're getting these higher highs or these lower highs and these higher lows starting to move together, you can see how these are compressing, right? And it shows you that we are in this chop zone. We are channel, we are range bound, right? Not until we get a breakout of those levels, which you got a nice confirmation candle here towards the end of the day, which brought us down to the lows into the close. So it's a really cool tool to use. Let me go ahead. I'm just going to put on the TTM squeeze just to see how that looks with this. See if that gave us any indications here today on the futures here. So let's see if that gave us any clues. So yeah, so it kind of did, right? So we knew that we were squeezing in this range right here. So this is a pretty cool tool. So if you combine these as well, right, it showed you how tight we were getting today. So we had that TTM squeeze, right, where the Bollinger Bands went inside the Keltner channels, right? And so not until we break out of these channel moves does this really start to become valid, right? So here we finally got the squeeze released to the downside, so you could tell it was a downside move. We broke out of the channel, right, and we worked our way down to the next level. So a pretty cool way to combine a lot of those tools, and it makes a nice, it gives you a nice perspective intraday just to kind of see where we are. Now to see where the limit is, where we're going, right, you need to go back in time to see where we could go to. Right, so we had this first breakout right here. This is another key level from the past, right? So this already shows you the lines right here, the pivot level. So you can take this and move it forward, see how we handle those levels. You can take this, move it forward, and see how we handle those levels. So when we were breaking down here, we knew where our risk reward was. Okay, so once we got here, we knew the next level down was potentially here. And look what it did. It tried to bounce. Okay, so we got a breakdown right here. I'm not saying this is a huge move, right? But it got 28.48. 28.43, so a nice 5-point move on the S&P futures, right? $50 contract, $250 trade on one contract, right? So it still got you to the next level right here. Now, did it hold? Yes, it did. Did it continue to work its way down? Absolutely. So this TTM squeeze here is showing you, hey, the momentum is still to the downside. The squeeze is open. Let's see if we can get to the next level. Look where that next level is when we went back out here, right? Where we grabbed that level and stretched it forward. And the S&P, the futures, they love this. And stocks like it too. It's just you don't have as much fluid data. You have to get your pre-market levels on there, and a lot of times you get that as well. So, so that being said, right? So that being said, this is where we got to before the end of the day, and that was the next target level when we got there. So pretty cool stuff. This is a cool tool to have on there. So there's your price channel. I would definitely say, hey, if you think it's going to help you, it might be one that you could try out, or at least back test a little bit to see if you can find where these breakouts are, right? So this is a pretty cool tool, right? We had this channel right here. This was at 12 a.m. This was in the middle of the night here on the futures, early this morning, right? So we had a nice price channel right here. We got a nice squeeze going on here on the TTM squeeze. Squeeze released inside 5, breaks to the upside. You get a nice move up right there. So anyway, cool stuff. So so definitely something to keep an eye on there. If you have trouble drawing triangles intraday, this is a good tool to have just to kind of give you perspective of where the recent highs were. Good. So that is all we have for this evening. So at this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So cool, good stuff. All right, so let's see what we got. So I know Mike, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in, man. Hope you're doing well. Tomorrow is definitely has a good chance of being an interesting day. We've had a lot of chop right now. The market. We're already going into to Thursday, and we've had basically 3 choppy days in a row. And so, I don't know how much longer it can withstand. The market can withstand that with the volatility so high. So I would expect to see some move. And tomorrow might be a day that things start to get moving. So that could be pretty interesting. So let's take a look. So we've got Netflix on the radar. Let's take a look. Okay, so Netflix on the radar here. Yeah, looking pretty good, right? We had that bull flag that we were drawing. We finally broke out of the bull flag. We're getting a little move up right here. We've got the 80 MA curling up. The only thing I'm still tracking is this upward trend line right here. So I'd like to see us close above that trend line. Try to get a little more bullish. And if we can retag those highs, we can shift that trend line over and get a little more good feel for the bullishness of the bullish sentiment of the whole thing. Right now, we just have to be careful because it might be just continually reject that, and eventually it might find it as true resistance and then push its way to the downside. So just be careful with that one, but it's starting to get interesting. It's definitely giving some big moves at the open. SPY, again, today, guys, low volume days. Inside day today, too. Very important, okay? So we talk about that a lot, right? These inside candles can lead to bigger moves. So today got really compressed, right? So we got a compressed inside day. And, let's see if we break out to the upside or the downside for a move either back down to the cloud or back up to the top of the trend box. So hopefully tomorrow we'll get a little more, more range, some more action in the range. Piton, earnings tonight, right? So we're actually up on Piton. So it had a little bit of a wild move after hours. Lots of ups and downs. They ended up having less of a loss. Well, actually, I think they had more of a loss than expected, but I think they had a good outlook. And so it's been following its 80 MA up, throughout the evening there, up until the 8 o'clock cutoff. And so that's looking pretty good, looking pretty bullish in tomorrow. So definitely keep an eye on keep it on the bullish radar for tomorrow. Very possible if we check keep an eye on the pre-market levels, that we could get a gap and go tomorrow on Piton. So definitely a good one to keep on the radar for tomorrow, for sure. And then Baidu, let's take a look at Baidu. Okay, so Baidu is still range bound, right? We are still contained within this gobbledygooky mess right here. So let's see if we can get a breakout one way or the other. A bearish candle below here, right? We got this open gap right here that could lead to more downside, or if we get a bullish breakout move, we might start to see our way work our way up here. We'd have to get over the 50-day and then possibly up to the top of the cloud or the 200-day moving average on Baidu. So one way or the other on that one. Oh, I'm sorry. I jumped over to Shirley's one. Okay, well, Shirley, you just saw Baidu. Sorry, Mike. I just was looking at the next line. Tesla. Yeah, so Tesla, low volume today, kind of choppy day today. So closed with a Harami right here, basically right contained within this real body, contained by this real body. So Tesla is, it doesn't usually stay tight for very long. We had that double inside day here, we had that third day Harami, and then boom, right? So we're getting a little bit tight right here. Let's see, we could see another day or two of chop, and then I would expect Tesla to make a breakout one way or the other on that one. Good stuff, thank you, Shirley. We already got Baidu, so let's take a look at J.P. Morgan. So guys, the financials have been very weak recently. JP Morgan's actually down a little bit after hours, so just be careful with this, right? These financials, right? As go the financials, so goes the market. A lot of folks say. So right now we've got this. We got this going on here. So we got this geometric line right here. So we're starting to break out of this, and we had some pretty good volume to the downside. So a lot of the financials were pretty weak today. I wouldn't be surprised to see more downside follow through on on JP Morgan here. Let me get that on the bearish radar for tomorrow. Let's put Piton's already on the 15 orb list. So let's put JP Morgan on the short radar for tomorrow. Looks good. Good stuff. DE, John Deere, Deere & Co. Yeah, getting a little bit weak right here too. So increased volume as it's trying to poke its tail out of the cloud here. If we put a geometric line up here, let's see how that's looking. We get this. Kind of this right here. So it's kind of holding a little bit right here. We're kind of seeing a triangle type form. So just kind of see how it holds right there. If it breaks down below there tomorrow with some increased volume, we might see some more downside on that one. RL. Okay, yeah. So Ralph Lauren, guys, these retailers, brick and mortars, have been getting crushed, right? So this is just getting tight in here. Big triangle on this one. So just see how that closes tomorrow. See if it pushes below there. Low volume today on the RL. Piton. We just looked at this one too. So look for that one for a gap and go if and get over its pre-market levels. And Baidu we already looked at. So good stuff. Great chart, Shirley. Really appreciate it. Bezod, what's going on? Apple, let's take a look. Apples and bananas. Let's take a look here and see how it's doing. So doji day today, but still holding trend. It's coming up into this resistance level right here. You got a nice gap above right here. That high of that gap right there is 310. So a little bit of a doji here, but some good volume on it. So it's had a couple nasty days in a row. Let's see if we can get, if this turns into a reversal, maybe come back to the trend line, or if it gets bullish, we might see a little doji sandwich up to try to get into that gap there. So keep an eye on Apple tomorrow if the market is strong. Facebook. Facebook. All right, so Facebook, it's been trying, right? So it's it's had a nice move, nice gap up since earnings, so it's defending its earnings gap, right? We just need to see, maybe a bullish candle to try to get it up to the next pivot right here. Kind of a nasty little doji day today. Not too much revealing there except the upper shadows here. So just have to keep that in mind. BA. Again, we've been tracking this triangle for a while here. It's been getting really, really tight. It started to break down of the triangle. It does have good volume, just decreasing volume. I would like to have seen a little bit of a bigger candle, right? Because we're still contending with this low right here, which is 120.02. So technically that is a level that could serve as support. So I would have liked to have seen a little bit of a bigger candle with a little bit more volume today to get some more conviction to the downside. Otherwise, don't be surprised to see it give a massive reversal because the market just loves Boeing. Microsoft. Yep. So Mr. Softy here, a little bit of a lower volume today and another upper shadow here at a prior resistance level. So just kind of see how it holds there. But I mean, generally Microsoft is strong overall. So good. And then AMD, the semis have been kind of really moving together a bit recently. So inside day, you can barely see it right here. But inside day here, and this is from one of our intraday charts. Let's see. So take that. So inside day here today. Upper shadow off the ADMA. If the market's weak tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised to see it move back a little bit. Might want to, even come back and test this 50.89 level. But just kind of keep an eye on that there to see if it breaks to the upside or the downside off of today's inside candle. Good stuff. Appreciate it. Yeah, good charts. Brian, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Cloud Guy, what's up? Appreciate you, man. Thanks for your support. BYND. Yeah, beyond, guys. Big move today. We talked about this. If you could clear this level right here, these levels right here, we might see some strength in it. So let's just kind of take a look at that price action, see how it did it. When things are strong, guys, right, we like the 15-orb breakouts, right, but we also like the pullback to the 15-orb right here, right, especially if it's holding its ADMA, right, and they just had a nice follow-through off of that one here on Beyond. And it's getting some nice follow-through to the upside, too. Just a very strong candle today. Wouldn't be surprised to see some upgrades on that going into tomorrow. And then RAD. Rite Aid Corporation pulling up here. Oh, wow. So RAD pulling back a little bit right here. Let's get this geometric line up there. Okay, so we got that. Let's get this trend line up here. So yeah, so we're breaking down on this one. The only thing I'm seeing here is decreasing volume. So that's the only hard part right here. But it definitely is looking bearish. So it may come back and test this geometric line here around like 1150. So if it continues to show weakness. Good stuff. Brian, yeah, let's take a look at Twitter. Twitter. Well, this guy's a mess right here. But dissecting all this stuff. But had tried to do a breakout right here, pulled back on earnings. Now it's just kind of chopping around in this range right here. So see, it holds this geometric level right at the cloud. See if that breaks down there or not over the next couple days. But decreased volume right here. So just we may see some more chop on this one unless the market decides to move. Good stuff. Michael, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Matt, hello. Let's take a look at Lulu. Lulu. Chopping around like crazy, right? Had this beautiful breakout candle, right? Got a nice little gap up on that one, nice little gift horse gap. It got a little follow through the next day too on an upper shadow off of a down move, right? And then it just was like, nope. Here's your candle right here. Came back down to the 20 it's kind of chopping around right now. So for Lulu, I would just go ahead and put this triangle up right here, right? And then just kind of see we're getting pretty tight right there. I don't really like the tightness of that one for a triangle, but it'll give you some guidance here in terms of a geometric level, see if it wants to break down or not. But let's even get above that triangle range right there. Good. And then Disney. Bad earnings, but had some decent moves today, right? So it's still, it looks like no different than everything else for the last 30 days or so. I mean, just big doji day. Price action was great at the open, right? Huge move up, nice inside 15 to get us out of that 15 warp high, and then a quick inverted V here. It just gives you that A pattern right there, and just kind of chopped around there. It didn't give you enough time to break down any farther, and it closed within the midpoint of that 15 warp range. So let's see how that holds up going into tomorrow. Definitely want to keep on the radar. Big doji day today. So again, we're still waiting for a breakout here out of the cloud. Otherwise, watch for a breakdown below this geometric line right here. Good stuff. Yeah, my pleasure. Jorge, what's going on? Good evening. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good day today. Hope classes were good. Michael, what's going on? FSLY. Yeah, so FSLY is basically in a trend box right now. We got earnings coming up. I think we already had earnings, right? Today, after the close? Ooh, look at that one. Gapping up nicely right there, up to 29.30. So 29.30, wow, that's a big gap on this thing. Goodness gracious. But it puts it right into this this kind of selling pressure area right here. So that's going to be a tough one. Real gap and go level is going to be over this 35.25. So watch out for a potential reversal on FSLY tomorrow. And then Mr. Softy again, upper shadow today. Upper shadow day, decreasing volume. So just be careful with that. But a break over today's highs could give a little bit of a move. Good stuff. Ernesto, what's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in. The Nest, what's happening? Let's take a look at SPCE. Okay, so SPCE, the triangle continues, right? So we had earnings. We had a big move today, intraday. So it is starting to it got out of that double inside day range. So that's good. And it's coming right into the cloud right here. So let's see how that holds going into tomorrow. It's a little bit down here after hours, but it had an epic move today, guys. Whenever you see when you're trading intraday, right, and you get this huge volume that comes in on a candle like this, that's bigger than the opening volume candle, right? Takes you right back to the 15 orb right here. Look for a potential measured move, right? So you've got this right here. It ended up, basically doing like a 3 candle kind of bull flag-ish type thing right here, right at the 15 orb high, and then boom, gave you your measured move up. What's the measured move, right? Just that's your flag right there. So there's that, right? And then there's that. So there you go. Got to the next level up. Give you a couple upper shadows, but a nice move on that. It doesn't get prettier than that. I know some of our members capitalized on that pretty nicely today, so that was good. Work, how we doing with work? Are we still chopping? We still in the chop zone? I'd say this thing makes some moves intraday, though. It'll give you a big candle, but it won't give you the volume like Space did. You got to get volume like that for it to go. So it just is crazy intraday, but we're still in this chop fest here, so just, blah for now. INO, I mean, not a bad place to sell some premium, right? But still got to be careful with that. So INO also in the chop zone, right? So now it's giving us like some interesting levels, right? So we've got this going on, we can kind of go like here. So it's it's turning into this kind of mega triangle type thing, but very, very tight in here and in the cloud. And probably not going to do anything on this thing until earnings comes up. So we'll see what they have to say about all that. Costco, forever bullish. So it just chops around a lot. It really does. It gets really nasty, right? Until it starts to move again. It can give you some good intraday moves, right? We got out of the geometric level the other day. We couldn't really push above today's highs, so it's just still kind of blah, decreasing volume. But see if we can get a good candle over this. We might be able to work our way up here, like kind of this 317-ish level. So good stuff. Jorge, yeah, Netflix. Let's take a look right here. Netflix, it's been strong, guys. I mean, it's been giving these surprise moves at the open. These quick bursts at the open, right? It gets a little bit trickier, right? So, here I do like the double inside 15. It gave us here at the 15 revive for another move up, but it can be tricky, right? So, and the premiums are still high on this thing, but anyway, just be careful with this upper trend line. We haven't closed above it yet, so it may serve as potential resistance, but it is riding it up right now. So that's there is something to that. So good stuff. The Nest ETR. So ETR. Yeah, Entergy. There you go. Look at that. Don't you love when a geometric line, when the that 50, when a key moving average just kind of clings to your trend line right there? That's pretty powerful stuff right there. So that's definitely serving as a potential resistance area. We got right here today. We closed just below this geo line right here. Probably a little X dividend action on that one. Lower energy. I'm sorry. Lower volume. so we'll just kind of see how it goes. We got earnings coming up pretty soon, so see how it holds those levels right there. So, I don't know how these companies, these energy companies are going to do. Right, a lot of them are allowing a lot of customers to defer payments. That's like kind of one of a lot of states are mandating these companies to allow citizens to defer payments until the corona thing is all over with. So it'll be interesting to see how these earnings companies report to see how that's affecting their bottom line. So very interesting stuff there. Yeah, they're not allowed to shut off power either in a lot of states. I'm not, every state's I think different, but pretty interesting stuff there. Rocky, what's going on, bud? This bud's for you. Isn't it crazy that this is an ADR now? This used to be a classic American company, right? Anheuser-Busch, Budweiser is no longer an American company. But anyway, so it's an ADR right here. So that's why you get all these gaps on this thing. So it makes it a little bit tricky, because it gaps to where it was in the market, right? The European market, right? So anyway, we're below this geometric trend line right here. We got earnings coming up. So obviously with earnings, just be careful with that. See what it does. But it can gap on those. So we'll see if it gives you a move on that one. And then SNV. That's a pretty decent breakdown right there. Right back in the trend channel, right back in the sideways channel right here. So you goes right there, came right back to this geometric line. So see how that holds. Again, decreasing volume. So just see if it can give you some increasing volume to show that there's some interest in this thing moving. But yeah, lots of weakness today, guys, in the financials. J.P. Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, SNV, DFS, things like that. So kind of keep an eye on those and see if they get any more follow through into tomorrow. So the next, ABLR. Yep, still just kind of grinding its way up right here. Fresh high, fresh trend line. So there we go. So fresh high, fresh trend line. Bullish still proving otherwise. Okay, so still looking pretty good there. And then UNH. Okay, so UNH just kind of chopping around right here. I would suspect that UNH is eventually going to give you a nice move. We're kind of a little bit tight here on earnings. We're after earnings right now. But one of the things with UNH, we could be working on kind of this, a little bit of a bull flaggish type thing here. But one of the things, right, with this whole Corona stuff here, is hospitals are losing money, right? So because people aren't showing up, they're not going to, because like one, they're some of them are encouraging people not to do their not necessary procedures and stuff like that. So hospitals are losing a lot of income because of that, right? And then at the same time, in a lot of areas, especially rural areas in the U.S., people just aren't going anyway, right? Because there's not as widespread of Corona, and they're just afraid to go out, and they're not allowed to go out and all that stuff. So it's so these hospitals are losing money. They're laying off people. They're laying off nurses, right? There's a lot of issues, right? And so hospitals are losing money. But what does that mean for insurance companies? Right? It means that insurance companies are not making big payouts on surgical procedures, emergency rooms, stuff like that, because they're not, for the most part, in the United States, hospitals aren't being overrun. Now, New York, high populated areas, they're a little bit busier, right, because of Corona. But, for the most part, this UNH, they're still collecting premiums and they're not making payouts. So keep an eye on that. So there may be some we're after earnings on that one, but it'd be interesting to see how UNH does next in earnings. So see if that that kind of fundamental meaning pays off at all on UNH. But anyway, so for the most part here we got kind of like shoulder pattern right here off of this geometric line, head pattern. We may pull back and see like another kind of shoulder right here, and then we'll see if we can get a breakout off of that. But anyway, something to keep an eye on these insurers. Jorge, SPCE is a tight one. Yeah, exactly. So you read that about 70% of the companies up for sale at max of 1750. Wow, that wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, I don't even know what they do. Right? They book flights into space like years in advance, and then they spend a lot of money building spaceships. So for right now, they're not really an income producer. But anyway, interesting stuff. Heather, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for making it. Eastoff, what's going on? Zumba. Zoom. Okay, so Zoom holding the geometric trend line right here. So it's trying, it's trying to be bullish right here, but it's going up on decreasing volume still, even less volume today. So just be careful with that. That could be a volume divergence on this, and it might work its way back down to that geo line. Nvidia, Nvidia is trying. Upper shadow right here, couldn't get over these levels. Excuse me. Upper shadow here, decreased volume here. It's just kind of struggling here right now. So again, the semis have been a little bit out of play. The software has been in play recently, so we're seeing more movement in there. Google. So Google's getting interesting. There's been some open interest. There's been some flow into this one, some option flow into it, like expecting an up move. So we'll see. We got an inside day today. See if that breaks the other. I don't know if there's any pending some news expected on this one, but we'll see how it does. I mean, it did okay after earnings. It's kind of defending the earnings gap right now. So see if we can get above these levels right here. This over 1400 looks interesting. It might make a push to fill that open gap up there. And then TLT. Short idea, yeah, interesting. Yeah, it's a nice move down right here. Gave you a lower shot. It's clinging onto the 50 moving average. Some people call that a holy grail setup. So just see how it holds right there. But if it breaks down below today's lows, we might see more downside on the TLT. Good stuff. Thomas, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Net. Cloudflare. So let's take a look here. So we've got this going on. So it's holding this right here. It is technically in a trend box right here. So just see it, it might be working on a, just kind of holding these levels right. We got earnings coming up tomorrow after hours. So see if we can get above these levels right here. This 25.50-ish level, might work its way back up to 26.50, 27.50. Kind of see how it goes there. Otherwise, you may get a little bit of an earnings run on that one. It's, these kind of cloud type names, some of these software names have been pretty strong. Some flow into those recently. AUPH, right? Arena Pharmaceuticals. So this one here, watch your geo line right there. That's kind of a key level to get above. You got this kind of triangulation going on too. So inside day to day, see if you can break out above those levels. TIA. Oh, TIA, and thanks in advance, Thomas. I appreciate it. Yeah, all good, Thomas. Thank you. Yeah, it took me a second to figure out. I was like, what? Oh, okay, gotcha. Godwin, what's going on? Where do you get the 20 bars from? So it just does it automatically, right? So if you go to Netflix, right? If we just if we throw the price channel on there. 1 second. So let's put a price channel on here. Okay. There. Okay. So the 20 bars. If you're asking like how I get it, all you got to do is just click your trend line. If you have your trend line tool right here, right? It's this guy right here. It's the second one from the it's the second one down from the top. If you just click and draw it, it's going to pop up a box and show you how many bars it's drawing, right? How many days and how many bars, right? So right now, right, this was the between this range and this range here is about 20 bars, right? So this shows you where the it's going to stay up there because it's the recent high of 20 bars, right? Until we move out of that 20 bar range, right? And then it's going to try to find, there's your 20 bar high, there's your 20 bar high, there's your 20 bar high, there's your 20 bar high. And then, there's your 20 bar high. Okay, so it's going to do that for 20 bars forward. And then it's going to start moving down. There's your 20 bar high. There's your 20 bar high. See how it's doing that? Oh, then it pauses there for a little bit. Okay, so that goes forward. Right, now there's your 20 bar high. Now it's forward a little bit. Now here's your 20 bar high. So now it's going here for a little bit, right? So it gives you a nice range. It just kind of shows you, potential limits right there. And the same thing with the lows, right? So there's your 20 bar low, 20 bar low, 20 bar low. You kind of do it backwards like this, right? 20 bar low, 20 bar low, right? So there you go. So it kind of pushes forward there at the lows as well, right? So here you go. Here's your 20 bar low until you start getting, until you move forward 20 bars, right? And then you got this low right here. Same thing, right? There's your low. So you start moving 20 bars, right? Then it moves up again. Okay? So that's how it does it. But it's cool, right? It gives you a nice perspective on the market, right? If you're staggering, if you're stepping up, if you got step ladders on this one, right? That's bullish, right? Until you break down below the next one, right? This is really a lot like that turtle trading method, right? Using the Darvas box type technique. So it's kind of like little Darvas boxes going forward. Just uses 20 bar levels. So, but yeah, it's a powerful tool, and you can see how these holds right now. So basically, it's giving you some interesting areas of support, and it does help too if you're looking to find prior levels of support and resistance, right? So here, this is a, so instead of, kind of looking at the chart, you just kind of drag that one forward and be like, let's see how that holds. And look what happened, right? Netflix came right back down, held those levels right here, and then it bounced up off of it, right? And so now we have these highs, and we get to see how it contends with those highs. It's a cool tool. It's just a neat tool. And then, like I said, if you combine it, right, if you combine it with the with that TTM squeeze that we talked about yesterday, right, it can show you some interesting breakouts, see whether it's ready to break, right? So here, right, we had these levels right here, right? We got squeeze, 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 right? And then it started to break right here off of this candle right here. So squeeze, 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 started to break. We broke down below those lows. We gave you a nice move down to the next level here. So say you caught it like somewhere between 322, right? Get into 287, right? Then it holds these levels, and that's it. And that's your move, right? And we haven't had a squeeze yet on Netflix here on the daily chart. The last squeeze we had was right here, right? But the best squeezes are the ones that kind of break to the upside, right? But here, you're kind of already trending down a little bit on momentum, right? So it's only when the momentum starts to pick up right here. So we got a nice squeeze right here at this level, at this prior high, right? You can see it worked its way up, So this is just patience type stuff. And then, like you said, you follow that TTM squeeze until it switches to the next level. Look where it switched to the next level, right up here, where that momentum shifted over, and then boom, you got that next level up right there. So I mean, I'm not, it's pretty good, right? So you get in right here, you chop for 4 days, 369, but you get your way all the way to 394. You get a 30-point move off of the trade. It's pretty cool stuff. I like it. I like combining those two. I think that's neat, and it's cool for the intraday too. All right, let's get that one off of there. Okay. Hopefully that answered your question. I think that's what you're asking about. Good. ZEK. Zynga. Do. All right. Yeah, so here's your weekly chart. Here's your daily chart. Yeah, so wow, Zynga, nice move today, guys. We talked about this potential breakout over here, so got a little bit of a gap and go on this one today, so to $8. And what did it do? Oh, now it's down. Sorry, it looked like it was today's. Yeah, we're down here after hours. It looked like it was like today we had the earnings on it. So yeah, so it tried. It got above those levels today. It did its own little gap and go today without earnings. Now we're down. So we're down to 762 here, which got us right there. Okay, so basically prior closing level. So see how it holds those levels. If that holds right, you might see a reversal on this thing tomorrow. GDX. Inside day. Okay, so nice breakout. These are the tough ones here. It's breakout candle with low volume. And it's GDX. These ones just bounce around. And a lot of it has to do with gold futures, stuff like that. So it's tough to track. But inside day today. So see how that holds at the ADMA right here. And then BABA. Boeing. Okay, so BABA here, we're kind of contained within the cloud right here, which is pretty cool. And, and let's see how it holds these levels right here. Again, this is a really tight triangle. These are not my favorite ones. I prefer a more expanded one. But let's see if we can get out of it, right? And get a move up here over these levels here. A breakout of here would be a breakout of the cloud. You might get a little bit of an earnings run on that one. So that could be pretty cool. Ankit, what's going on? Good evening. Yeah, let's take a look at check. Pretty tight down here. Really, really cheap. Just be careful with this one. It's very, very, kind of trading in fractions of a penny. Just be careful with that one there. NCLH. This one may be trading in fractions of a penny soon. Again, bankruptcy discussions, things like that. You can't imagine the earnings are going to be good, but it doesn't mean they won't beat the estimated earnings, right? It doesn't just because it's earnings doesn't mean like the earnings have to be good. They just have to beat the estimate. And even if they don't beat the estimate, sometimes the guidance is good and it goes up. And then sometimes the guidance is good, the guidance is bad, the revenue is bad, and the earnings are bad, and it still goes up, right? So it just all depends on what the algos are up to. So, but this is getting really tight in here. So let's see if it breaks down below these geometric lines after earnings or above it to see what kind of move it has for that. It could chop around too. Just really tricky into earnings on that one, but it has been very weak recently. Play. Yep, Dave and Buster's. This is very range bound right now. So just kind of waiting and seeing. I had some interesting earnings. Really no move on earnings, so it's just kind of chopping around these levels right here. Look for a breakout candle one way or the other with some volume. JP Morgan on the bearish radar for tomorrow, right? A lot of these banks are starting to break down below their geometric lines here. So JP Morgan with increased volume. So that's got it on the bearish radar on that one too. And Roku getting pretty strong right here, right? Pushed above its bear flag levels right here. Sorry, bull flag levels right here. Good volume, right? Kind of work its way up. Tomorrow is the day of earnings, earning after hours. See if it gets any other crazy. Roku premiums right now are a little bit just crazy. So we got that going on. Bruce, what's going on? BA. Boeing, yep. Breaking down on the triangle right there, would like to see a little increased volume on that one, so we'll see how that goes into tomorrow. GDX, same thing, right? Try to break out right there. Inside day, decrease volume. So see if we can break out one way or the other on those. XLV, another inside day on the XLV. Healthcare, so keep an eye on that. See if we can break the inside day up right here. It's a little bit struggling a little bit there today. And then the SQQQ, ultra short. So it's getting tight down here. So getting tight, getting tagged recent lows and all that stuff. So maybe, but just maybe, right? It'll try to pop out of this geometrical line here. Otherwise, it's a descending triangle. Might see some more downside. So good stuff. Cortez, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. SDC was bullish pre-market, and then they pulled it back, right? So it was just epic move up here. But anytime you see this stuff, guys, red flag, right? You got to make sure that these pre-market levels hold. And once it didn't, right, it just kind of broke down, kind of chopped around. These ones are tricky, but it is slowly working its way up. If you go back to the daily chart, it is trying to work its way up right here. So good stuff. Very, very slow and grindy, but it's trying to get back above $10. MGR, what's going on? Yeah, SPG, let's take a look. SPG, weak candle today. Big volume. How's it looking on this geometric level right here? Approaching it. Okay, so it looks like it's down a little bit after hours. So see how it holds these levels right here. 53.30-ish tomorrow. 53.50 could be a potential low. So if it breaks down even farther, it's tough, right? These real estate groups have been struggling, right? Because a lot of people aren't paying rent. A lot of companies are not able to pay rent right now. So it's pretty tough. But anyway, keep an eye on it right there. I can't imagine the earnings report's good, but anything could happen through earnings. Sujay, what's going on? Amazon, yeah, holding the upward trend line. Holding the upward trend line right here. So we'll see. I want to see it get to all-time highs, see if it can even work its way even farther up. But lots of volume has come off since earnings, so it's just kind of slowly holding its trend today. It did have some nice moves today. In fact, for a little bit, it was one of the strong ones today, right? Double inside 15, give a nice pop today, and it's kind of holding up those levels okay into tomorrow. So let's see if it gets any more strength over today's highs. And then Tesla. Tesla today was a low volume choppy day, doji day here, but it is holding its ADMA. Okay, we're still in this bump run area. Okay, so just be careful with that one. MGR work was supposed to open today. Any update on that? Not sure, but it definitely was trading today, so it gave a couple pops and all that stuff, but we're still in this crazy chop zone up here. Oh, works, gotcha. Let's see, WRX. Is this one halted too? Oh wow, this one's halted too. Now I haven't heard anything on that. Let's check the news briefs right here. Press release highlighting trading halt status changed to added info requested. It'll be halted and the company fully satisfies the NASDAQ request. So I guess it still has to wait. It looks like it was supposed to, and then NASDAQ apparently halted them again, and so it kind of is what it is. It's kind of waiting for you to get the info that was requested. Crazy stuff there. Sally, what's going on? Melly. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so Melly, huge gap up today. It got right up to this pivot level right here. Tagged a high of 777, came back in with an upper shadow today. This is a crazy one. The spreads are just nutty on this one, but a huge gap up on this one. Pretty impressive there. So watch. Just be careful if it breaks down below today's lows. It could work its way down. It's crazy. It's got crazy spreads all over the place. TTD. Again, trying to work its way up here. Again, this is also a crazy one with crazy spreads, so just be careful with this one too. See how it handles these recent highs, right? It's trying to work its way up there a little bit, but it's doing it with some upper shadows. Should just be careful. Good. Michael. What's going on, Michael? MGNX. Wow, big move today. That was huge. Look at that thing. Macro, that thing is incredible. What a move today. Yeah, so look for some potential follow-through on that one. That could be interesting. And what else? JMIA. Yeah, another nice move right there. Just watch that recent pivot level on that one. OSTK. Overstock, guys, has just been so strong. It's just been so strong recently. All the way from $2.50, it finally has been working its way up. But again, Bitcoin's been moving up too, and this one likes to move with Bitcoin. Twilio. Yeah, software sector has been really strong today. Nice breakout move. I think we got earnings, tonight? Yep. So that is up to, wow, this one's up to 151, guys. Wow, look at Twilio. Oh my goodness. Wow. I mean, amazing. Right up to what looks like all-time highs right here. So that could be a good gap and go tomorrow. Wow. Keep an eye on Twilio. TW. Wow. What a move after hours. Incredible. Nice one. Thanks for bringing that on the radar. Yeah, so look for a potential gap and go on that one if it can hold its pre-market levels. Good. And then PayPal. PayPal's actually up 10 points right here, so that gave an amazing move. What a crazy move up on this one. Okay, so yeah, so PayPal pretty strongly for a potential gap and go on that one tomorrow. And then BE. Decent volume earnings coming up. What are earnings on this one? Coming up a little bit. Yeah, just keep an eye on these energy stocks, right? So they're going to be a pretty interesting one to keep an eye on right there. And then good old Docu with the epic run up. Wow, another big move. Yeah, these software things have just been so strong today. Look at that. I got out of this megaphone formation for another move up. Really impressive stuff. Good. Good stuff. Cloud Guy, SPG. Yep. Did I just skip around? Oh, no. Okay, yeah, no. MGR asked about that earlier. Yeah, so, again, just keep an eye on these geo levels right down here. So that could be very, very interesting. Good stuff. Jorge, what's going on? Have a great night. Another day, another grapefruit. Exactly. Good stuff. Yeah, Foot Locker. Let's take a look. So here's another one. Retail. Struggling. Right? But it is holding some geometric levels right here. So see if it gives you a sort of breakdown stuff out off of those levels. Okay? And Tracy, what's going on? Good evening. CRWD. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're well. Yep, so CRWD is still kind of struggling a little bit. I want to see it get over this 75 level to see if we can get some strength and test some of those other levels a little bit higher. And then AYX. Yep, so nice move right there. We've got earnings today, after hours. That one's down on earnings. So we are at 109 on this one. So we're down all the way down here. So not too far down. Just kind of see how it holds this level. We might be able to catch a reversal on that one. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, appreciate it. MGR, yeah, Genus. Yeah, another kind of cheapo name right there, but yeah, some good volume there and moving its way up. And IZEA. Yeah, another penny stock right there that's getting a little move. Good stuff. Oxy. Yeah, Oxy earnings. Let's see, what did it do here? Yeah, we had earnings today, right, into today. So let me see. Yeah, after this. So it just kind of pulled back a little bit. It's holding these geometric levels right now. So see how that does today. You got some extra volume from the earnings today, but let's see what kind of action it has tomorrow. Good stuff. MGR, yep, thank you on the works. Here's the news. SEC will open up May 5th. Gotcha. Ankit. Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Yeah, have a good night. Mike, what's going on? Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. Really appreciate it, everybody. Great chart request tonight. Appreciate all the questions and for tuning in. Cool topics this week using these channel indicators. Just kind of help you see where you're at perspective-wise. And we're going to go over one more cool one tomorrow. So if you guys are new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube and also hit the like button. We always appreciate that. And also ring the bell, too, for notifications. Be sure to check out the links in the description. That'll take you to our Twitter page and also to our website. And good stuff, guys. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. I hope everybody has a great evening. And stay healthy out there. And remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. Yeah, Michael, I know. It's so funny. All right, guys. Everybody have a great night. And thank you again for your support. And I'll talk to you guys soon.